highlights on the news are 3. Rivers State Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibas reiterates commitment to coordinate strategies in supporting Nutrition 774 initiative. President Tinubu reconstitutes High Prep Governing Council Board of Trustees. Ibom Air incident, Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority promises fairness, says self-help not acceptable, and Inspector General of Police Egbetokun extends tinted glass permit enforcement deadline to October 2. Very good afternoon to you. Many thanks for joining us. We welcome you to the News 3. My name is Helen Germany. Do you love and care about Rivers State and our peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater height. For this is a task you and I must accomplish. Now, the news in full. Rivers State Administrator Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas retired, says as chairman of the State Council on Nutrition, his administration will effectively unify and coordinate strategies in supporting the Nutrition 774 initiative. Vice Admiral Ibas made the promise after the Rivers State Council of Nutrition was inaugurated by the Senior Special Assistant on Health in the Presidency Office of the Vice President, Mrs. Uju Rochas-Lanuka, at the Government House in Port Harcourt. Tom Nobari Global completes the story.
The 11-member Rivers State Council on Nutrition has Vice Admiral Ibas as the chairman, and members including the permanent secretaries of the Ministries of Budget, Health, Agriculture, Education, Women Affairs, Finance, Water Resources, Information and Communications, the Administrator of Port Harcourt Local Government representing Association of Local Government of Nigeria, ALGON, and Senior Special Assistant on Health to Vice Admiral Ibas, Professor Oluwene Chitru, as the Secretary of the Council. Vice Admiral Ibas said the state is dedicated to nutrition-specific and nutrition-sensitive interventions that will improve public health outcomes, emphasizing strategic priorities that will be funded by the 10.8% allocated to the sector in the 2025 budget of the state and dedicated nutrition departments established in the ministries.
By investing in nutrition, we invest in education, productivity, economic growth, and stability. Rivers State is fully committed to the success of this initiative. We have demonstrated this commitment by allocating 10.8% of our 2025 state budget to the health sector, a direct investment in our people's future.
The administrator said the government has entered into public-private partnership to reactivate the Mother and Child Hospital as well as the Dr. Peter Odele Cancer and Cardiovascular Diagnostic Center, Songa Integrated Farm in Bonutai Community, Rivers Cassava Processing Company Limited in Oyibo, and other agro-industrial initiatives aimed at ensuring food security, reducing dependency on imports, and empowering local farmers.
We are strengthening healthcare delivery through public-private partnerships with reputable firms and institutions to manage and operate key health facilities, including the Mother and Child Hospital and the Dr. Peter Odele Cancer and Cardiovascular Diagnostic Center. These partnerships are designed to ensure world-class service delivery, improve access to specialized care, and guarantee sustainability.
Mrs. Uju Rochas Oka said the Nutrition 774 initiative is a government-driven strategy aimed at tackling the growing challenge of malnutrition in the country and to end the rising number of under-5 deaths from such health crises. Tamun Nobarabi Iblubo, Rstv News.
Now from the presidency, we bring this report that President Bola Tinubu has approved the reconstitution of the Governing Council and Board of Trustees of the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HYPREP. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on the Information and Strategy, Bayo Nanuga, who announced the development, said the Minister of Environment, Balarabi Lawal, will serve as chairman of the reconstituted Governing Council, while the members include Laonye Barituka Victor, representing environmental, non-governmental organizations, Bright Onyebuchi Jacob, and Henry Obiabure, representing Niger Delta communities. Others are Professor Barinedum Wibere, Baride Wezia, representing the Ogoni community, and Gideon Onyebua and Dr. Ibikunle Omotehinse, representing the 9 oil-producing states. The president appointed 4 alternate members, including Dr. Abraham Olungwe and Maibe Ekbobare for organic land, and Joseph Akeduswe and Beauty Warejumewe for the Niger Delta. The president also reconstituted the Hyper Board of Trustees with Emmanuel Deya reappointed as chairman. Other members include Fred Igwe and Dr. Fred Barcode for organic communities and stakeholders, Dorcas Amos for other Niger Delta communities, and Chief Jide Damasio, who was reappointed to represent environmental NGOs. President Bola Tinubu has named the former House of Representatives member Ayo Hulayat Omidiron as the new executive chairman of the Federal Character Commission. Omidiron succeeds Dr. Muhiba Dakanka, whose tenure was targeted by controversy. Presidential spokesperson Bayo Nanga in a statement stated that the president also appointed Mohammed Musa as the Commission's secretary while retaining Kayode Oladele from Ogun as the commissioner. Oladele, a former House of Representatives member, was appointed by President Bola Tinubu in 2024 as the Commission's acting chairman. The president renewed the appointments of Lawal Yoroni, Abubakar Atiku Bunu, and Eludayo Eluyemi, representing Jigawa, Kebbi, and Osun states for a second term. The federal government and stakeholders in the cocoa value chain met to assess the progress so far made towards complying with the European Union Deforestation Regulation EUDR on sustainability. Speaking at the Nigeria-EU Cocoa Roundtable on European Union Deforestation Regulation compliance in Abuja, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumuka Duwole, described the development as both a formidable challenge and a transformative opportunity for the country. Duwole said the regulation was a call to action as it remained a pivotal moment for Nigeria's cocoa industry. The EU, which accounts for over 60% of Nigerian cocoa exports, had set the December 31, 2020 deadline, later on extended to December 2025 for Nigerian cocoa farmers to comply with the regulation, which bordered on sustainable cocoa trade under the EUDR compliance framework. The deadline applies to the broader EUDR, which includes cocoa and other communities, and was extended from an earlier date to allow for more preparation time. Failure to comply could lead to rejection of Nigeria cocoa exports to Europe, among other punitive measures. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetoku, has extended the deadline for the enforcement of the tinted glass permit to October 2, 2025 to allow for what the force describes as a meticulous scrutiny of applications. The deadline had earlier been shifted to August 12 to give the police additional time to enhance and redefine the application process. A statement by Force spokesperson Olumuyiwa Adejobi said the latest extension would enable the police to carefully assess requests to ensure only eligible persons are granted permits in line with national security considerations. Adejobi explained that the extension would also give the police time to fine-tune digital and physical verification processes to maintain the integrity of the permit system and prevent abuse. He stressed that all applications should be submitted exclusively through pasop.gov.ng and urged Nigerians to report cases of extortion, hidden charges, or unauthorized processes to the police via the hotline 0814 7818 871. According to the statement, the IGP commended Nigerians for their cooperation, noting that the measure was aimed at balancing public convenience with robust security measures. From the aviation industry, we bring this report that the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has promised fairness over the Ibom Air incident involving a passenger and a cabin crew, but warned that unruly behavior will be dealt with within the ambit of the law. Videos of the altercation between the passenger, Comfort Emerson, and the airline's staff went viral. She was spotted assaulting one of the Uyo-Lagos flight crew, with security officials later responding. The airline said Marcin was asked to put off her mobile devices just before takeoff in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. However, Ibom Air said she bluntly refused to comply until the pilot in command made an announcement, after which a fellow passenger seated beside her took the phone and switched it off. This resulted in a verbal tirade from the passenger, who upon arrival in Lagos confronted the purser who had earlier instructed her. She walked up to the unsuspecting purser, stepped on her, forcefully tore off her wig, removed her glasses, threw them to the floor, and used her footwear to assault her. A non-fly van passenger over the incident, and she was also charged to court. A move Achimogu said is not a crime. According to him, the airline and the passenger can decide to settle the issue amicably if both parties choose that path. He, however, asked the passenger to obey instructions from members of the cabin crew, warning that unruly behaviors would have far-reaching consequences. Do you love and care about River State and our peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights. For this is a task you and I must accomplish. Ahead on the news are 3. Sudan's paramilitary rapid support forces attacks displacement camp near El Fasher, leaving 40 dead. Details in a moment.
I need the police that can respond to emergencies first.
I want the equipment I need to do my job.
I want a police that won't harass or arrest me for no just reason.
I want to be valued for my work, not feared by honest people.
I want a police that won't ask me anything for the boys.
I want a decent salary that is paid on time.
If it happens with good laws,
Proper funding,
Training.
And cooperation.
if it happens,
If it happens.
If it happens.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv Channel 22 Port Harcourt. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Welcome back. Moving on, clamping down on oil theft and associated crimes in the Niger Delta. Troops of 6th Division Nigerian Army arrested 71 suspects and destroyed 14 illegal refining sites across states and the region. A statement by the Acting Deputy Director, 6th Division Army Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma Jonah. The Nigerian Army said troops also recovered over 3,000 liters of stolen refined petroleum products in the operating in the operation conducted between July 21 and August 10. Lieutenant Colonel Jonah disclosed that in Rivers State alone, along kilometer 45 in Digma local government area, 2 illegal refining sites were deactivated and over 22,000 liters of stolen products recovered. He stated that during the operation, 2 wooden boats used for the illicit activities were demobilized, adding that in Omoko, by Igbima, Ndoni local government area of the state, 2 wooden boats loaded with 8 sacks of stolen crude were intercepted. Similarly, operations conducted at the fringes of Imo River, according to the Army spokesperson, led to the deactivation of 5 illegal refining sites with drum ports, 2 drum receivers, and over 2,000 liters of stolen products recovered at Obuza in Abia State and Okoloma and Oyimbo local government area of Rivers State. He said a dug-out pit filled over 1,500 liters of stolen products was handled appropriately. Now, plans have been concluded towards ensuring that each member of the National Youth Service Corps gets 200,000 Naira credit facility as the scheme enters into a partnership with Nigeria Consumer Credit Corporation, Credit Corp. Tagged Youth Cred, eligible corps members will be able to access up to 200,000 Naira single-digit interest loan under the program. Speaking at the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Cred Corp and NYSC in Abuja, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Cred Corp, Engineer Uzoma Mwaba, said 9 billion Naira had been earmarked for the first phase of the program. According to Wagba, the program is in fulfillment of President Bola Tinubu's Democracy Day address on June 12, where he promised that a credit initiative targeted 400,000 Nigerians, including youth corps members, would be launched. Mwagba stated that the first phase of Youth Cred focused on NYC members who will be required to complete a short digital credit education program before becoming eligible for the credit facility. He explained that the loan was intended to support a range of needs, including relocation, purchase of work tools or devices, skills, training, and funding for small business loans. And on the foreign scene now, Sudan's paramilitary rapid support forces have launched a brutal assault on a famine-stricken displacement camp near El Fasher, the capital of North Darfur, killing at least 40 people and injuring 19 others. The attack marks another escalation in the ongoing civil war, which has displaced the millions and pushed vulnerable populations to the brink of starvation. Let's join Deborah Oleje as she tells us this and other report from the foreign scene.
The Abu Shuk displacement camp, home to around 40,000 people, had been repeatedly targeted since the war began in April 2023. The Resistance Committee in El Fasher, a network of local activities, condemned the assault, stating that it reflected horrific violence against innocent defensive people. Rwanda has termed as false accusation by the UN that its forces took part alongside rebels in the killing of several hundred civilians in eastern Congo. Citing first-hand accounts, the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights said that M23 rebels killed at least 319 civilians in a series of attacks on 4 villages in North Kivu province in July. The agency said the rebels were assisted by Rwanda's forces. In a statement by the Foreign Affairs Ministry, Kigali called the accusation unacceptable. It accused the UN's rights agency without evidence of seeking to undermine efforts to end the conflict in Congo East. European leaders have warned against Ukrainian borders being withdrawn by force 2 days before US-Russia summit on Ukraine is due to take place in Alaska. A statement European leaders said the people of Ukraine must have freedom to decide their future. It added the principle of territorial integrity, must be respected and international borders must not be changed by force. The statement was signed by 26 of 27 leaders. Missing from the signatories was Hungary leader Viktor Orban, who was maintained friendly relationship with Russia and has repeatedly tried to block EU support for Ukraine. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has accused his Israeli counterparts Benjamin Netanyahu of being in denial over the consequences of the war in Gaza. Albanese said frustration with the Israel government has played a role in the move, saying Australians want to see the killing and the cycle of violence stop. Israel, under increasing pressure to end the war in Gaza, has said recognizing a Palestinian state reward terrorism, and Netanyahu called the decision taken by Australia and others Ali's shameful. Netanyahu and his government have been facing growing condemnation over reports of starvation in Gaza. Deborah Oledi, Rstv Foreign News.
Thank you so much, Deborah, there. And now on entertainment, Nigerian video director and cinematographer Sango Mori Jesam, popularly known as Studio Mori, has opened up on how the church shaped his career. Bless Lawrence has the details.
Omore revealed that his career began in church during Dramas Night. He also disclosed that the church provided him with the opportunity to be a filmmaker and also guided him. He urged people to give the church a breathing space, noting that they also impact lives, explaining that he will never be too cool to proclaim his love for Jesus. BB Nigeria star Tasha Akide accused her UK neighbor of stealing her clothes after he debunked the claim she made about their rent being 10.3 million naira monthly. It was earlier reported that the BB Nigeria star, who recently returned from her sojourn in the UK, claimed that she paid £5,000 monthly. However, her alleged neighbor, who claimed to have lived in the same house as her, debunked this by noting that their rent was not the stated sum. Tasha reacted to this by revealing that they had stolen her clothes while she lived there. Taylor Swift has announced her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, after an intense 24 hours of speculation from fans. Rumors began on Monday morning when the singer marketing team posted a carousel of 12 photos with the caption. In the hours that followed, her boyfriend Travis Kelce confirmed that she would be a guest on his podcast New Heights and Swift's official website. The Popstar 11 album, The Tortured Poet Department, released last year, broke the Spotify record for being the most streamed album in a day. The title of the album was announced to social media with a clip from Kelce's podcast and simultaneously made available for pre-order on Swift's official website. The official release date for the new music is yet to be confirmed. I'm Bless Lawrence, Rstv Entertainment News.
Thank you, Bless Lawrence there. Moving on, and in sports, Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie says her nomination for the 2025 Yachting Trophy is a reward for hard work and consistency. ODB Tarina Ball tells us more.
She is among the 5 goalkeepers shortlisted for the prestigious award. Nnadozie declared that the nomination is a thing of joy for her and her family. The 24-year-old also stated that it is a challenge for other African goalkeepers to aspire to be the best. Landon Bozo has been officially unveiled as the new technical advisor of the Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) side Bero FC. Bozo was presented to the media by owner of the club, Jibril Barrow, who is Nigeria's deputy Senate president. The experienced tactician will be assisted by the chief coach Rabiu Tata, assistant coach Madu Mohammed, and fitness coach Suraju Mukhtar. The Kano-based club were promoted to the NPFL season. Liverpool and 3 Lions of England legend John Barnes has been hit by another bankruptcy petition by the HM Revenue and Customs. In June, Barnes has accumulated debts of over 1.5 million euros in his media firm, having been banned as company director for 3.5 years. Italian orienteering athlete Mattia De Bertollis died on Tuesday at the World Games in Chengdu, China, after collapsing during competition. A joint statement from World Games organizers and the International Orienteering Federation said De Bertollis, 29, was found unconscious during an orienteering event on August 8 and died 4 days later. The World Games is a multi-sport event held every 4 years for disciplines not included in the Olympics. Odibi Tayanabo, Rstv Sports News.
And that report from Odibi Tarinabo concludes the 3 p.m. bulletin. Before you go, do you love and care about River State and our peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater height. For this is the height. We must take her to the greater height. For this is a task you and I must accomplish. Many thanks for staying with us all through the 30 minutes. Good afternoon. My name is Helen Eric Geminiwa.